Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss cube. Ended up losing my last one pretty badly, so hoping to do better this time around. I went 1-2, but that's still pretty much a loss. If you go 2-1 in the Swiss, it ends up just paying for itself, so it's like a free draft. So pretty much my goal every time is to at least go 2-1. Oh, stunted growth. All right. Well, I'm looking at the control magic here. It's a really strong card. And pretty difficult to deny that. I saw this last time. This guy's interesting. Elspeth's awesome. Love her. Dismember. Very good. Leaves you more open. But there's a lot. Control magic has huge upside to it. Just a tremendously powerful card. So I'm fine taking that over the pretty decent ramp cards. Nothing amazing ramp-wise. Elspeth's really good. I like that card a lot, but I'm just going to go with Control Magic. Okay, follow-up pick. What are some good choices here? Liliana, typically pretty good. Shrine of Burning Rage, love that for the old red deck. Sphinx's Revelation was amazing formerly in the blue-white control deck in Standard. I like Solemn. I like Memory Lapse. I like Force Spike. I probably like Memory Lapse more than Force Spike. Only because I like tempo-based decks a little bit more. I like if I take some counter magic here, I'm gonna want to play something aggressive. So blue and another color, maybe blue-green. You get some nice creatures with blue-green, and typically that's more of a ramp strategy, but. Pretty much any color that has some cheap creatures. So I think in this, you see it in white, you see it in black, you see it in red. I can go any of those, but I'm going to take the Memory Lapse here because I like the card. Okay. Spirit of the Labyrinth is a good aggressive card that I was looking for. Also got Diregraph Ghoul and Cackler in black and or red. Chrome Mox, typically an okay card if you've got some card advantage spells, but I'm not really feeling it yet. Angel of Serenity is, of course, very good. Sensei's Divining Top, good if you have a lot of shuffle effects. Not so good if you don't. I'm okay. Master is a good value green pick. Mid-rangey, but very value. Spitting out wolves is very good. Spirit of the Labyrinth's going to be more for a tempo deck, though. I actually like its ability in this format, too. There's a lot of intense draw card effects. And I'm in blue, so there's a chance that I pick some up. But turning off your opponent's draw card effects, I think, is really good. Here I'm okay taking Mirren Crusader. There's also Necrotol, which is a good value spell if I wanted to go more of a blue-black route, which I could do. But I like the protections on Mirren Crusader quite a bit. It is a bit color-intensive alongside Control Magic, but I'm still hoping to get some fixing at some point. Yeah, I think I'm okay taking Mirren Crusader here. It's unaffected by Necrotol, so it's got that going for it. And it pairs well with our 2-mana 3/1. So let's go ahead and take the Mirren Crusader here. Okay, Wasteland, typically good. Serendib Efreet seems like something I'm going to want in a deck like this. Very tempo card. So I like that more than the Relic Warder. And I do like Wasteland a lot, but I think I'd rather have this Efreet. It's just a really efficient beater in blue. And I think, I haven't read this full cube list, so I don't know what I'm doing. But if you know me, you know I prefer things that are aggressive. So if I'm in blue-white, I would think a tempo deck where I'm countering spells cheaply, stealing their creatures, playing cheap creatures, and countering seems good. White also has very good removal, so hoping to pick some of that up. Baneslayer, great way to top out. Old Man of the Sea is actually a very good card too, but I much prefer the Baneslayer. Tough to deny 5 mana, 5/5 flying first strike lifelink with presumably some relevant creature protections in this format. He's right next to one that he protects himself from. Yeah, I'm awesome with Baneslayer here. All right, Journey, good removal. Windswept Heath could potentially be very good if we pick up any good duels. I do like the Journey quite a bit. It's nice having white removal like Journey. Leonin Arbiter turns off like the fetches and turns off, tutors and stuff like that, as well as being a relatively cheap beater. But I think I'd still rather have the Journey. There's probably a better chance Arbiter tables. I guess that's not gonna. Have to be the last card in the pack, I guess. But there's a chance. I think it's easily the weakest card left of those 8. So there's a pretty decent chance it tables. All right, I'm gonna take the Fountain here over the Mystic. I don't have anything yet to reward me with the Mystic. I could pick something up, but Fountain just seems like exactly what I want. So pretty easily taking that. Move it to sideboard. All right, Dismember, actually totally fine in this deck. Even though it's like 1 mana, but you pay the 4 life and it's still good for you. Savannah Lions, though, a little bit more in line with I think what I'm trying to do, which is lay out some creatures early, then counter spells. Then just counter spells. Keep them off good plays to deal with our creatures. Otherwise, I'm okay with the removal too. Dismember probably is just a more powerful card than Savannah Lions in general, but I'm going to go with the Savannah Lions and hope to pick up Path or Swords at some point. Let's see here. Deranged Hermit might be the strongest card out of all of these. Nicol Bolas is the strongest card out of all of these, but it's also the most color specific, whereas Deranged Hermit's just a really good card in general. Shrine of Burning Rage is good for burn too, but we'll deal with that when we have to. All right, nothing on color here. I guess I'll take the Chrome Mox, but still not a great chance I play it. If I end up getting some card advantage, I'm a little more okay with it. Birthing Pod could be a good deck. Not for us, I don't think. A little bit too much life payment. I think I'll just cut the Goblin Guide from somebody. I don't want to get my face aggroed on. Molten Tail Masticore is fine, not amazing. Lightning Greaves is also fine, not amazing, but I think I'd rather play the Greaves. Masticore is a good card, though. All right, Winter Orb seems like it could be good against us, but we could actually play it if we can. We can actually play Winter Orb if we get a bit more aggressive. And as expected, the last pick, Leonin Arbiter, which can easily go in our deck, so. Wow, Karn's in here, very strong. Sword of Fire and Ice is one of the best ones you can get. Council's Judgment is very good. I even like the Spectral Possession. Glen Elendra, Archmage is incredible value. All sorts of good cards. All sorts of good cards in here. I don't think I'm going to take the Karn, despite this card being insane. It's just not the tempo style deck I'm trying to do. I think we probably just take the Sword because it's insanely good. Lot of inherent value. Spear of Heliod's okay. Vision's pretty good early, but not so good late. Council's Judgment's insane because it takes care of... Yeah, it's just insane. It takes care of whatever you want, including Hexproof, which doesn't even make sense in my mind, but whatever. Smokestack is probably okay for us too. I think I'm just going to go with the Sword. I really want to take this Glen Elendra because I just love that card so much. But I'm going to go Sword of Fire and Ice here. Preordained seems fine. Moat. I've got a couple flyers already, but I don't think that's what I want. Could take the Lingering Souls. Good value there. I do like Preordain. I like Riftwing Cloudskate. I'm okay taking Cloudskate here. Just like something you can suspend early. It's got good upsides when it eventually comes out. Preordain's just good. But I think I'm either looking at Cloudskate or Souls, and I'm not going to be able to make the Souls work unless... Actually, Misty Rainforest is pretty good for us too. It already finds the fountain. So that helps with mana fixing. You can never really have enough mana fixers. I think I'm actually going to go Misty. I like that it finds the fountain, and I'm hoping to table a Cloudskate, a Lingering Souls. It's possible. But yeah, let's take the land there. I'm okay with that. All right, Delver, typically pretty good if you have a lot of spells, but we don't really yet. Hopefully get some more. I'll take the Mana Leak here, I think. Maze of Ith is a pretty good card. Daze is cool. Good tempo card there, but I think I'd rather have the Mana Leak, I think. Just a bit better if you get a nice one-drop creature out. Exalted Angel also is good. But yeah, let's take the Leak. I'm okay with that. All right. Here we've got a Signet, which I'm not sure we need. Containment Priest, which is interesting. This is actually a good card, I think, for us. Since it's got Flash, we can leave up Mana Leak or Memory Lapse or Containment Priest. And it's just really nice if someone like does a Natural Order, which just destroyed me in my last draft. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's a good chance Containment Priest tables, but Mystical Tutor currently just finds us counterspells, I think. Yeah. So it's kind of card disadvantage in that sense, and finding a Mana Leak or a Memory Lapse off of Mystical Tutor is pretty underwhelming. I mean, there's a pretty good chance that we find some more later, but I'm just going to take this Priest because nothing else here is really standing out to me as incredibly good. Mind Sensor actually seems in line with what we're trying to do too, since it's another flash creature, but I think we probably want the Image, mostly because just it's cheap and it copies anything, including your opponent's bombs. So 10 cards left. Do I think the weakest 3, that Mind Sensor would be in the weakest 3? I'm actually not sure. I don't think so. I think Pithing Needle's going to be left, and probably Nature's Claim and Gutter Snipe. I'm really hoping the Mind Sensor tables, but I'm not entirely convinced that's going to happen. But I think the Image is more powerful than Mind Sensor, despite the Mind Sensor having Flash. All right, Shackles is actually very good. I do seem to be more white than blue, but you can still end up stealing some creatures, which is really nice. Lion's Eye Diamond's okay. I don't really think that's what I'm looking for. Hollowed Spirit Keeper's very good. I don't have a ton of creatures to get rewarded with it yet, but it is fairly efficient. I think I'd rather have the Shackles. Even if you can only steal like a 2-power guy, stealing like ramp creatures is very good. And I mean, I've got some white color intensive stuff already, but I'm going to take the Shackles. I like the idea of stealing my opponent's stuff whenever possible. Hope to table the Spirit Keeper. We'll see if it happens. Caracas. Good if I had Legends, but I don't believe I do. I could pick it up and just hope to get some. Otherwise, Aether Vial is good alongside counter spells. We've got a fair amount of 2-drop creatures, so I could see that working. Doesn't work so well with Containment Priest on my side, though. Gifts Ungiven is good because it's instant, so you can use it with counter spells. I'm okay with taking Caracas here. I mean, you can play it and bounce opposing Legends, too, which is pretty good. I think I'll go Caracas. I do like Gifts Ungiven, but I think I'd rather have a potential bounce effect for stuff I can't deal with. Let's see here. I mean, Gaia's Cradle seems like the strongest card, but not what I'm looking for. I didn't take the Molten Tail, so not really interested in Massacre all that much either. But it might be the only pick that we can take that we can actually play, so I guess I'll take it. Not really interested in playing it, but if I have to, I will. Table the Council's Judgment, that's nice. Spectral Possession is good, a bit color intensive. I think we got to take the Judgment. Being able to deal with anything is very difficult to deny, so we'll take it. Definitely looking for some more cheap threats. Keep in mind, Control Magic and Vidalcan Shackles kind of count as creatures since you get to steal opposing ones. What's the strongest of these? Maybe the Garrick, because I could see myself having a little bit harder time dealing with planeswalkers than creatures. Johnny, not super likely to play it, but not super likely to play anything else in here, so I guess I'll take it. Sculler is typically pretty good, but I don't think we're going to be able to play that either. Nothing else in here really matters to me, so I guess I'll just take it. Did get the Pithing Needle. Unfortunately, did not get the Mind Sensor back. I wasn't expecting the Tendrils to table, but that just sort of tells me there's no Storm player. We'll take the Pithing Needle because there's a chance we sideboard into it. Interesting. It's like the opposite of Obliterator. Guess I'll take a Lion's Eye Diamond, but don't think we're playing that either. And sure, last pick Aether Vial. It's playable in here. It is playable. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it, though. Geez, Elish Norn? Awesome. I think we're probably just first picking a Resto, because it's just flash and very good. Glacial Fortress is fixing, which I would like. But there's also Mana Crypt, which is free ramp, which is very good. Free ramp is very good, but a little bit less good for us because our curve is relatively low. It is a good tempo card, though. But it also can punish your life total quite a bit and can hurt you against the burn deck. I think we take the Resto. I don't think Resto's tabling, and I really like it. It's cool with... I mean, I guess we don't have a lot of stuff to blink. But it's anti-removal in the way that it blinks, and it's just flash and very good, I think. So I'm going to take it. Mana Tithe is okay. I think I'd rather have the Accorder Paladin, only because I want some cheap creatures to play alongside our tempo-y spells and removal. Admittedly, we're not as tempo as I would have hoped, but Pestermite's like more of a tempo card, I guess, so I could take that, since it taps down their creature and then lets you get in with your creatures. I could see that, actually, and it's flash. There's, honestly, Pestermite's probably better for our deck. I could see that. Flash it in or leave up a counterspell. That's pretty much what we want, actually. We just want flash creatures with counterspells. So it gives you the best of both worlds. And it can tap or untap any permanent, which is also nice for like a surprise block. That's something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I think Pestermite's better for our deck than Accorder Paladin. So I'll take it. I'd also like to be more blue than white. All right, I think we can take Venser here. I'm okay with that. Strip Mine as well. That is a good card. Strip Mine is good. I think we don't have enough fixing to justify the Strip Mine again. There's also Brimaz, which is just a really strong card. I think I like the Venser better because it's more blue. I'd like to dip out of a bunch of double white, only because I really want to make the Shackles work. Parallax Wave is also very good. A lot of good cards in here for us. I think I'm just going to go with the Venser. I like the idea, especially alongside the Caracas that we picked up of having Venser. You can just infinitely bounce. I think it's just a little bit too good for us to pass up. It's also good with Resto. Venser is good with Venser's good with Venser, as it turns out. There's also a Banisher Priest in here. Venser, what else is it good with? I guess it's good if I want to switch my Journey. It's good with, doesn't really work with Image. Guess it's not good with too much else, but I'd prefer to not play this Masticore if possible. I guess I can take Banisher Priest. I don't really like it in this deck, but I mean, it's removal in a pinch. I don't really feel like I'm gonna play Venser, but I mean, if you ultimate him, it's pretty good. Guess it can potentially make my creatures unblockable. I don't really like it all that much in this deck. I wish it was a bit better. There's probably a better chance we table Banisher Priest, so I'll take the Venser. Flooded Strand seems very good. There's also Porcelain Legionnaire. I think I just want the Flooded Strand. I'd like all the fixing I can get. Sword of War and Peace would be welcome. I like playing swords a lot. It's also good against us since pro white is very good. That's tough. That's tough. I want the Wern piece, but I think I gotta take the Flooded Strand. All right. Amira Angel's fine. I think I'd rather have the Looter, maybe. It's cheaper and can help us fix, and it constantly gets in. I do like Amiria Angel a lot, but like I said, I'd like to make this deck as blue as possible, despite, like, we don't have to play a Johnny either. I do probably want to play Crusader and Council's Judgment, but let's take the Looter here. I'd like to be. I mean, we're definitely getting cut in blue, but that's all right. Kami, I guess we can take it. Not exactly sure how to best use this. Exile any number of cards in your hands face down. Put that many cards on top of your library. So you get to look at more cards. It's cool. Interesting. Not exactly sure where I want this. I don't think it's what I want here. Not really feeling it for this. I guess I'll take Kami because it's a cheap creature. Windbrisk Heights is good if I don't know if I have enough creatures to make that work. There's an Edric, which I like a lot, but also really can't make that work. Academy Ruins. I don't have a ton of artifacts that matter with that. Could just take the Weathered Wayfarer. It's not a great card, but it's fine. It works well. It works relatively well with Tempo. I just don't think we're going to be able to activate Windbrisk Heights all that often, or very likely. And there's not much. Well, I mean, there's a couple cards I could get off of it, but I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Revoker seems fine. What's Thada Adele do again? You know, Thada Adele's probably okay. It is double blue, but Island Walk, it seems like we're definitely going to be playing against some blue. And I can't imagine a deck that's not running artifacts. I mean, that being said, I do like the Revoker too. Turning stuff off like Pithing Needle, sort of. I'm going to try Thada Adele out. She's got a relevant land walk, so I kind of like it. I can take the Accorder Paladin. I could also take the Mana Tithe, but I do want a good amount of creatures in here. That'll make the Winter Orb better, too. If you can just power out some creatures early in Winter Orb, I could see that being pretty good. I do like Mana Tithe, too. It's good for tempo, but I'm going to take the Paladin here. It's just a nice attacker. Parallax Wave is a really strong card. I think I can easily take that. Bloodbraid Elf was pretty annoying in that last draft, so I think I'm going to take that. Lodestone Golem. There's some actual artifact decks I could worry about. So I'll take it. Johnny seems fine, but not likely to play it. But that being said, it's on color, so I guess I will. And last pick Marauder. Probably not a red deck wins at this table, unsurprisingly. This may not be the cube for an aggro player like me, but I mean, I still want to make it work if I can. So what cards do I not need? I probably don't need Lightning Greaves. I like the fact that it protects my Baneslayer, but I don't think I need it. I don't want to play 16 lands, I don't think, either. I wish I'd gotten some card draw, but I don't feel like I saw a bunch of card draw. There's also a chance I could play, I guess, Aether Vial or Chrome Mox, but I'm not sure I need them either. It appears to be ending up a little bit more white than blue, unfortunately, which makes the Shackles a bit worse. But even if Shackles can only gain control of creatures with power, 2 or less or something like that, it still does some work for you. Plus we've got Hallowed Fountain, which counts as both, so, and we got a Misty to find it. So we have a couple fetches to find our Hallowed Fountain. So I think I can probably get away with still playing more blue, despite being a little bit lighter on blue in the deck, just to make the Shackles work. Let's separate some stuff. As much as I like Parallax Wave, I'm not sure if I want to play it in this deck. Maybe I do over the Council's Judgment. They both take double white, and even though Council's Judgment hits anything, most of the time I'm just going to be wanting to hit Parallax, creatures like with Parallax Wave so I can get in. So I think I'll leave in Journey and Parallax Wave and cut the Council's Judgment. This is a good sideboard card to have if there's, some permanent, like some Planeswalker I'm going to have a hard time dealing with. How many flash creatures did I end up getting? I got the Pestermite, the Resto, the Venser. It's not a ton, but, it's a reasonable amount, I guess. Have a decent amount of flyers. I can probably cut one of my weaker 2-drop creatures like Kami, which is probably a better sideboard card. Although, how good is Weathered Wayfarer? It's all right. I guess Weathered Wayfarer is nice to have with the Shackles if I need to find more islands or something. I mean, Arbiter can hurt us. So can Containment Priest, technically. I don't have any ways to cheat in creatures unless I play Aether Vial, which is still okay. I get it up to 2, and I can leave up counters. But I didn't get a ton of counter tempo, so I probably don't need the Aether Vial. And my creatures have flash anyway, so I probably don't need it. I think I'm still okay with Winter Orb, because I've got enough 2-drop creatures where I can drop that and make it so they can't untap anything. I do kind of want to cut this Kami. So I think I'm going to. And I don't want to play 16 lands. I still like the Shackles and the Control Magic a lot. Didn't get any other legend. I probably cut Venser just because it doesn't work too amazingly well with anything. It's nice with Venser. Venser's nice with Venser, but it's not really nice with too much else. Or anything else, really. So, yeah, I think I can pretty easily cut Venser. Okay, so I think I'm going to run it like this. We didn't quite get as much counter magic as I would have liked, but Mana Leak, Memory Lapse are both fairly tempo. And I can steal stuff or exile a bunch of creatures. I didn't get Path or Swords, which sucks a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's not the strongest looking deck, I'll be honest, but it's got some big upside cards with Control Magic and Vidalcan Shackles. And I do want to play more blue than white, even though white is very important to hit. I think having the double fetch is going to help us fix that problem, since Misty can find Hollowed Fountain and Flooded Strand can find Island if we're or Plains if we're short on the white. So we've already got a couple white sources. I guess 4 white sources. Yeah, 4 white sources if you count the Misty as one too, which I am. Let's add some basics. I mean, technically I could also cut Winter Orb for the Council's Judgment just to have like a catch-all rather than a They Can't Untap card. But considering both my counter spells are 2 mana, the thing about Winter Orb is you can catch your opponent with their pants down like really badly. If they have like 6 to 8 mana and they just played something big, it's nice to play Winter Orb and still maybe have 3 to 4 mana to use to like leave up a counter spell or still play a removal spell or something like that. Or even having a Parallax Wave out and then playing Winter Orb can be very nice. I really don't mind having the Council's Judgment, though. I could see that's kind of a judgment call there. A Council's Judgment call. Cutting the Winter Orb for the Judgment. I could see it being good, but I do like the idea of flashing in a creature and then playing Winter Orb or something. I don't know. I'm going to try Winter Orb out in this deck and see if I like it. So, 4 sources of white, 4 sources of blue already. They're saying 7-6. I think I'm going to go the other way. Even though I think I do need white more. I'd still rather just have access to more islands, I think. So I think we'll do this. So only 8 islands in the deck total, which isn't too terribly much for Vidalcan Shackles to work with, but I think it's still enough to get away with it. Like it can always steal ramp creatures or steal, you know, just cheap creatures in general. Low power creatures that have awesome activated abilities. It can always steal like Mom or something like that. Overall, it's a pretty weak deck, honestly. This cube might not be for the aggressive player like me. And that's just something I may learn over the next couple cubes as we explore more. So I'm not like super confident with this deck, but I think it's worth a try. And well, I have no choice, so I have to try it. And I think it's good enough to win games. I know that because it's got some early pressure. It's just not it's not insanely good. It's not as good as I would have liked. But we'll try it like this. We'll see how we do. We'll see in round 1.